Good morning, students. Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the topic called no sooner than and as soon as. Now, these are like used together. Why? Because both are similar, like no sooner than as well as soon as. Both are used to talk about something that happens immediately after something else. Like one action is completed and then some other action starts immediately. That time we use no sooner and as soon as. Now, no sooner is for the negative and as soon as for the affirmative. How? Let's look at that. When we begin the sentence with negative word no sooner, we put the auxiliary verb before the subject. Means how our structure will be like this way. No sooner, we'll begin the sentence with no sooner, then we will have do, does or did depending on what the verb is used in the question. Then we will have our subject and then the first form of verb and then means original, the root verb. Then we will have the word then, THAN, not THEN. Okay, students, that you need to remember. Otherwise, you lose the mark. And then we will talk about the next action. So that is the structure for the when we are using no sooner in the sentence. And when we use the as soon as in the beginning, what we have to do is we have to remove the auxiliary verb do, does and did. Okay, and then we add the verb form in with in the first form or in the V2 form. Okay, and if it is in the first form s or with es, that depends on the question. Okay, and then structure will be like this. So in the word in previous no sooner we used to use THAN. Here what we will do in as soon as, we will remove THAN and have comma in place of that. We will replace it with comma. So we'll start with as soon as, then we will have subject, then V1 with S or ES or V2 depending on the question, and then the next action. We'll look at the sentence so you'll understand it better, how to convert the sentences from no sooner to as soon as and as soon as to no sooner. Okay, so this is, for example, no sooner. Now, no sooner do you see a red light, then you must stop. Now, see, I've highlighted certain things. Now, here you can see that in this sentence, it begins with no sooner, the negative word. So, what we have done, we have used first of all this verb do. Why? Because see is in the first form. Now, do is in the first form of verb, right? Without the letter S. And then is the subject, then V1, and then you can see THAN is also used. So no sooner do you see a red light, that is your first action. So before the first action you use no sooner. Okay, and then what you do immediately after that, your second action comes. So after the word THAN, then you mention your second action, then you must stop. Okay, student, and then when you want to convert this into the as soon as, how we will do? We will replace no sooner with as soon as. You can see I've underlined it. Then see, I've removed the verb do. Auxiliary verb do is removed. And then I've added subject. Then see will remain as it is because do is already is in the first form. A red light, and THAN is replaced with a comma. I highlighted it in red color. Can you see it? Okay, and then followed by the next action. As soon as you see a red light, comma, you must stop. Full stop. So now this sentence was with the verb do. Let's look at next sentence. No sooner does my father get a cup of tea in the morning than he feels fresh. Now again this sentence begins with no sooner. So we have used verb before the subject does. Okay, and as does is used over here, see I've removed s from the word get. It's underlined the verb get, right? And then get a cup of tea in the morning. So this is your first action, students. So before the first action you have used no sooner, right? And before the second action you have used then, T-H-A-N. Okay. So then he feels fresh. Full stop. Great. So when you want to convert it into as soon as, what we will do? No sooner is replaced with as soon as. Okay. Does is removed from here. Okay. My father. So does is removed. So now where that s went, we have put, you can see get becomes gets over here, as we have removed does from here. Okay. So as soon as my father gets a cup of tea in the morning, he feels fresh. Okay. Affirmative and negative, you remember that rule, right? So as soon as my father gets a cup of tea in the morning, THA and then is replaced with comma, he feels fresh. Full stop. Now do and does, first form of verb is done. Now let's look at another example. Now this is in the past form. You can see no sooner did the teacher come then the students stood up. So now here it is beginning from no sooner, the negative word. So we have used did with it, did, as the first, and the first form of verb is come. Okay. And then so this after the first action is no sooner did the teacher come. The teacher come, then the students stood up. That's the second action. So you can see before the first action we have put no sooner. Before the second action we have put THAN. Now when we want to replace it with as soon as, what we will do? As soon as and did is removed from here. The teacher, as did we've removed did, so come is changed to came, right? Past tense. Okay, because it's positive, affirmative sentence. So as soon as the teacher came, and THAN then is replaced with comma. Okay. So as soon as the teacher came, the students stood up. Full stop. There will be no change in the second sentence. Only we have to see first action. There we do the changes. Okay. So these are the examples. Now let's look at the fair book exercise, students. One by one we'll take all the examples and you have to write down this all rules and examples and exercise and everything in your English grammar fair book in neat and tidy handwriting. Okay. So let's quickly look at the fair book exercise. The first one is the sun went down. They stopped playing. Okay. So first we will try to convert this sentence into by using no sooner. So no sooner, now went. Went is the past tense, students. So what we will do? We will use here did, right? So no sooner, as we are starting from negative, no sooner. So we have used the auxiliary verb did, then the subject the sun, and when like went will go in the first form again. So go down, and then the second action begins. Then THAN then they stopped playing. Full stop. Now if you want to change the same sentence into affirmative, that is as soon as, right? So what we will do? No sooner will be replaced with as soon as. I've underlined it, and then we've removed the auxiliary verb did, right? As soon as we remove that word, what we will do? Again the this main verb will come in its original form, right? So go, it will again become went. As soon as the sun went down, and THAN is replaced with comma. So as soon as the sun went down, comma, they stopped playing. Full stop. Great, students. Hope you understood. Let's take the next example. The principal entered the hall. All stood up. Now when you want to convert it into no sooner did. Entered is, you can see the verb is in the past tense, so we are using did. The principal, so we are using did over here, so entered will become enter. The hall, then you use THA, and then all stood up, second action. When you want to change it into as soon as, so no sooner will be replaced with as soon as. We will remove the auxiliary verb did. The verb the main verb will come into its original form, first form, like past tense, V2 form. So as soon as the principal entered the hall, comma, all stood up. Next, we sit down to eat. My mother prepares the food. Now here you see, it's not necessary that sentence may come in the beginning only. You need to understand which action comes first. You cannot directly sit down to eat, right? When the mother has already prepared the food, then you can sit down to eat. So here you need to identify which action is first. So here my mother prepares the food, then you sit down to eat, right? So that is your first action. So we'll use that verb of that first action. So you can see the verb prepares is in the first form of verb, right? With the letter S, E-S, right? So what we have to do? No sooner, now it's with letter S, the verb. So we are using here does, right? No sooner does my mother, prepares will become prepare. No sooner does my mother prepare the food, then second action begins. We sit down to eat. Okay? And when you want to replace it with as soon as, what we will do? No sooner is replaced with as soon as. Does is removed. Again, my mother prepares. It will come in original form. Prepares the food. Affirmative. Right? So we sit down to, comma, we sit down to eat. Full stop. Next. The boy saw his mother. He began to weep. Okay? Boy saw his mother and then he began to weep. So action is proper, like first is first. So here saw, it's in the past tense. So what we will do, students? We will use did. No sooner did the boy see, saw will become see, his mother, then he began to weep. As soon as, now again remove did. So as soon as the boy saw his mother, as we removed did, so see will become saw. His mother, comma, he began to weep. Full stop. Great. Let's look at the fifth one. The engine whistles, the train starts. Whistles, as you can see, it's in the present tense and with the letter S. So what we will do? Does we will use. No sooner does the engine whistle, whistles will become whistle, then the train starts. When you convert it into as soon as, we remove does, right? So as soon as the engine whistles, whistle will again become whistles. Okay? Then you use comma. As soon as the engine whistles, the train starts. Full stop. Next. The soldiers crossed the river, the battle began. Okay? So here crossed is in the past tense. So we will use did, of course. So no sooner did the soldiers, crossed will become cross the river, then the battle began. When you want to change it into as soon as, what we will do? No sooner is replaced with as soon as. Did is removed. So as soon as the soldiers, cross will become again crossed, come in its original form. So as soon as the soldiers crossed, we do the river, the battle, comma, the battle began. Full stop. Okay? You need to remember, students, no sooner, when you're using no sooner, you have to use then, T-H-A-N, then. Okay? And when you're using as soon as, you have to put a comma before the next action. Don't forget that. Okay? Let's look at the next one. The children enter the school, they make noise. Now here enter, it's not entered or it's not enters, right? It's enter. So what we will use, student? It's in the present form, of course, right? It's not past tense. So do or does. Now here enter is without the letter S or ES. So we will use do, D-O. Okay, so the no sooner do the children enter the school. You can see I've used do, then they make noise. Okay. As soon as do is removed, the children enter. Enter will remain as it is, right? As it's already in the first form of verb, it's in its original form. As soon as the children enter the school, comma, they make noise, full stop. Next, the rain stopped, the birds were seen flying in the sky. Now stopped is in the past tense, right? So we will use did, obviously. So no sooner did the rain, stopped will become stop, as we've used already did. No sooner did the rain stop, then the birds were seen flying in the sky. And when you want to change it into the positive, as soon as the rain stopped, stop will again come into stopped V2 form. The birds were seen flying in the sky. Next, the tiger roared, all the animals hid somewhere in the forest. Roared is in the past tense, so we will use did. So no sooner did the tiger roar. Okay, that's your first action. Then, next action comes, all the animals hid somewhere in the forest. As soon as, did is removed, right? So did is removed, so V2 we will use positive statement. As soon as the tiger roared, roared is a V2 form, comma, all the animals hid somewhere in the forest, full stop. Great. Next one. The boss entered the office. He saw the papers and files scattered on the floor. So entered is the past tense. So what we will do? No sooner did the boss enter. Entered will become enter, as we've used did. It's V negative past tense. So in negative past tense, what we will do? We use V1 form, right? So no sooner did the boss enter the office, then he saw the papers and files scattered on the floor. Next is as soon as. So as soon as did we have removed, so the boss entered the office. He saw the papers and files scattered on the floor. Next, 11th one. He saw the lights. He decided to make a final effort to reach there. Saw, past tense. So again we will use did. No sooner did he, saw will become see. No sooner did he see the lights, then he decided to make a final effort to reach there, full stop. Then when we want to change it to as soon as he saw, right? Did is removed, so again see will become saw. As soon as he saw the lights, comma, he decided to make a final effort to reach there, full stop. Next one. We fell off to sleep, we arrived. Now see, again here we cannot go to sleep and then we can arrive. Okay, the first action is we arrived and then we fell off to sleep. So you need to again see which action comes first. So first action is this and arrived. So we will underline that word arrived, right? It is in the past tense. Okay, that's how we come to know whether the sentence is in past or present. So here when we change it into negative past tense, we use did and V1. So no sooner did we arrive, arrived will become arrive, then we fell off to sleep. Hope you are able to understand, students, right? Just keep the rules in your mind and it's damn easy. It's very easy. Okay. Next is as soon as we arrived. Okay. Now again did is removed. So arrive will become arrived. And then we use comma. We fell off to sleep. Full stop. Next one. I entered the class. The boys began to shout. Entered is in the past tense. So no sooner did I enter the class, then the boys began to shout. And when we want to change, as soon as I entered, did is removed, enter will become entered the class, comma, the boys began to shout, full stop. Next one. They opened the gates, the crowd rushed in. Open again in past tense. So no sooner did they open the gates, open will become open. Okay. The gates, then THAN, the crowd rushed in. as soon as did is removed, they, so open will become opened, right? Past tense V2. As soon as they opened the gates, the crowd rushed in. Full stop. Okay, great students. So here we completed our this exercise also. Make sure you write it today itself and practice. Till then, we'll meet soon again with the next presentation. Till then, practice and have a very good day. Take care.